to Atlantic Television Network. This is the 9 p.m. bulletin on this frequency coming to you from the Garden City of Port Harcourt. My name is Bon Woke. Let's take the news. For the headline, Army distributes palliatives to widows in Rivers State. Jerry Silva orders sign peace accord. Tinubu signs 2.17 trillion supplementary budget. CBN says all new Naira notes remain legal tender. United Kingdom bans nitrous oxide recreational use. Brazilian singer dies after spider bite. Yellow Greens rise in ICC T20 rankings. After the short break, don't get away. Of the stories, Commander 6th Division Garrison of the Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Edet Effiong, has distributed palliatives to 85 widows within Port Harcourt Barracks, Rivers State. This was revealed in a statement posted on the official X handle of the Nigerian Army on Wednesday. The gesture was met to a total number of 85 widows at the 6th Division Garrison Port Harcourt Barracks. While addressing the widows, Effiong stated that the palliatives are meant to provide succor to them as they navigate this challenging time. Added that there was nothing that would be given to them that could compensate them for the loss of their loved ones, who had sacrificed their lives for this great nation and humanity. The commander further encouraged them not to give up, adding that they had the power to overcome adversity and build a meaningful life. The statement added that this intervention was in addition to numerous other activities geared towards enhancing the living standard of troops and their families in Port Harcourt Barracks. Ahead of the November 11 gubernatorial election in Bayelsa State, political parties and their governorship candidates on Wednesday signed on violence-free election. The Bayelsa State Governor and flag bearer of People Democratic Party, the candidate of All Progressive Congress APC, and the 14 others attended the ceremony at Lady Daima Memorial Event Center in Egua, state capital. The event was facilitated by the National Peace Committee in conjunction with Kuka Center. The Catholic Bishop of Sokoto State, Sokoto Diocese, Bishop Matthew Kuka, who presided over the Peace Forum, enjoined the people of the state to imbibe a tolerant disposition during the poll to engender a peaceful and credible exercise. Meanwhile, indication that the peace accord may be violated emerged when the frontline gladiators, Doye Durian Silva, spoke with journalists shortly after the ceremony. Both candidates traded accusations and counter-accusation of plots to undermine the peace accord. Meanwhile, Bayelsa APC professionals and stakeholders group a notable and influential body within the All Progressive Congress has declared a pivotal shift in their political allegiance in preparation for the upcoming governorship election. Slated for November 11, 2023 in Bayelsa State, the statement signed by the group's Secretary General Dr. Emmanuel Akpodiga, the group announced a significant loss of confidence in the AP's governorship candidate, Chief Timothy Silva, prompting a decisive change in their support. The statement emphasized their decision due to thoughtful consideration and a profound concern for the state's future, highlighting the observation of recent political developments and the demeanor of the APC candidate. The Bayelsa APC professionals and stakeholders group voiced dismay over the campaign's trajectory and the public response to Silva's candidacy. The statement recognized the raised alignment with the people's aspirations and confidence in his ability to unite and guide the state towards progress. And from Imo State comes the report that Imo State government has again accused the embattled president of Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, of engaging in vile and vicious propaganda in a bid to assist the Labour Party in Saturday's governorship election in the state. They also called for a psychiatric evaluation of Ajaero as to ensure that he was not losing his sanity. Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Declan Emelumba, said he was suspecting that Ajaero has lost his mental balance following his allegation that Governor Opuzodema invaded his village. Emelumba, who was responding to inquiries by the media concerning the baseless allegation, declared, "It is obvious that Ajaero and his band of alarmists have gone mad and thrown every decorum to the wind." The commissioner wondered what it would profit the governor to invade the village of Ajaero when the man was bereft of any literal value. He also said it was laughable that there was no pictorial evidence anywhere or police report to corroborate such weighty allegations. An invasion of a village? The commissioner regretted that the once peaceful and respected NLC has been desecrated because of the ego of Ajaero, and urged the media to be circumspect any claim by the embattled NLC and LP chieftain. Also from Imo State comes a report that our candidate of All Progressive Congress, Opuzodema, as well as the candidates of Labour Party, Nathan Achonu, All Progressives Grand Alliance, Tony Ejiogo, and New Nigerian People's Party, Ben Odunze, were all absent as a peace accord meeting organized by the National Peace Committee in Owerri, the capital of Owerri, the state capital, for the governorship candidates in the state ahead of 2011 governorship election in the state. They were absent. The candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Samuel Anyanwu, who came in thereafter, left after he noticed that the candidates of the major political parties were not present. Those Odema, Achonu, and Anyanwu sent their running mates. However, the organizers of the ceremony did not allow them to sign the peace accord. As said, documents would not be signed by candidates in proxy, although the chairman of the APC and LP signed the documents. The candidates of the Social Democratic Party, Bright Ekwebelem, Action Democratic Party, Steve Wonga, Action Alliance, Jack Ogunewe, and other candidates were present, signed the peace accord. Uzodima's running mate, Chinyere Ekomaro, who was not allowed to sign the peace accord, left after her party chairman. Mark Donald Lebere signed the dotted lines. Achonu's running mate, Tony Nwulu, was not allowed to sign on behalf of the party candidate. The running mate of the PDP candidate, Jones Onyeriri, was also not allowed to sign the peace accord document. Chairman of the PDP in the state, Charles Ugu, was also absent at the ceremony. Running mate of the PDP candidate, Onyeriri, who spoke to journalists shortly after, said his candidate left because he had other engagements. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Frank Mba, who is in charge of the election in the state, and other senior security agents were present during the ceremony, which had a huge presence of security. Appeal Court has affirmed the election of the House of Representatives member Idato North and South Federal constituencies of Imo State, Ikenga, Imo, Ugochinyere. The Appeal Court panel, led by Justice Abubakar Babandi Gumel, set aside the ruling of the tribunal, which had sacked Ugochinyere. The Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Maraba High Court had ruled that Ugochinyere's PDP was no candidate for the election because there was no primaries in the federal constituency. Panel, which delivered the judgment on September 10, also directed the Independent National Electoral Commission to conduct rerun election calls in 4 wards between APC and LP candidates. However, a unanimous judgment delivered by Gumel on Wednesday overruled the judgments of the tribunal. Gumel held that the petition was a pre-election matter, and as such, tribunals lack jurisdiction over pre-election matters. Still in Imo State, aviation unions has declared Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma persona non grata at all airports nationwide until further notice. Travelers and airlines navigating through the Imo State might need to explore alternative options, given the aviation union's decision to initiate a complete withdrawal of workers at the Sambakwe Airport in Owerri. The unions, which included the National Union of Air Transport Employees, Air Transport Services Union, Senior Staff Association, National Association of Aircraft, Pilots and Engineers, and the Association of Nigerian Aviation Professionals. Actions as coming against the backdrop of brutalization of Nigerian Labour Congress Joe Ajero last week. Reports say Ajero was beaten and brutalized by some unidentified persons who claim to have gotten the directive from the governor of Imo State, Uzodinma, and it seems that was beaten up in the state while operatives, Nigerian police force, allegedly watched a development that has raised concerns nationwide over the state of the nation. Enough from Imo State. Let's look at People's Democratic Party has accused the National Youth Service Corps of dabbling into the politics of Enugu State and rendering itself a willing tool in the hands of opposition in the state. He demanded an open and unreserved apology from the NYSC for conspiracy, deceit, and willful mispresentation of facts to destroy Governor Peter Mba and dislodge the PDP from Enugu State by hook or crook. The position of the party was made known in a statement issued by the chairman of Enugu State chapter of the PDP, Honorable Augustine Namani. In Enugu on Tuesday, the party was reacting to the judgment of the Federal High Court, Abuja, which cleared Mba of certificate forgery and awarded 5 million damages in favor of the governor. The PDP accused Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General Yushua Ahmed, and Director of Corps Certification, Mohammed Ibrahim, of dragging the reputation of the institution in the mud by dabbling into partisan politics. Lagos State University Ojo has removed the Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Tajuddin Olumoko. This removal was in connection with a news report published on Monday by an online news platform. The story revealed that a certificate racketeering syndicate had genuine Lagos State University certificates that anyone interested could purchase for between 2 million and 3 million, depending on the technicality of the course involved. Meanwhile, a senior lecturer in the Department of Political Science, Dr. Abiodun Fatai Aboton, has been appointed as acting DSA. A source in the university who does not want to be mentioned confirmed the removal to our correspondent, saying yes, it's true. Olumoko has been removed and Abaton has taken over as DSA. Recall that Lagos State House of Assembly on Tuesday said it will invite the Commissioner for Tertiary Education, Mr. Tolani Akibo, the Vice Chancellor of the Lagos State University, Professor Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello, the Senator of the Tertiary Institution, and other top staff of allegation of extortion and certificate racketeering leveled against the school recently. Ogun State Police Command on Wednesday said it has arrested a 40-year-old Sedun Tola. Confirmed this to our correspondent. Olaniran, until his arrest, was a mathematics teacher at Ebenezer Grammar School, Ibere Kodo, Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. The teacher is a native of Ipokea local government area of the state. The Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Motunrayo Adeleye, had also on Wednesday on her X handle spoken about the arrest of Olaniro. Adeleye said that a member of our team was contacted by one of the suspects victims, saying immediate action was taken to investigate the case. Meanwhile, the state governor, Dapo Abiodun, had described rape as a criminal offense in the state and urged rape victims to always report cases to the ministry. You are watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back after this break. Don't go away. Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of the stories. Commandant, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Oyo State Command, Dr. Michael Adaralewa, has ordered a crackdown on vandals of electrical transformers and other power distribution facilities in the state. The command spokesman, DSC Samuel Opebi, disclosed this in a statement made available to newsmen on Wednesday in Ibadan. According to Opebi, the commandant made the order while addressing all area commanders, divisional officers, heads of units, and heads of departments during the monthly briefing of the command at its headquarters in Ibadan. Adaralewa expressed concern over the rising cases of vandalism targeting power transformers and other electricity distribution facilities in several parts of Oyo State. Adaralewa urged all officers and men of corps to brace up for the enormous task ahead as the year was gradually coming to an end. He assured the people of Oyo State of the unwavering commitment of the NSCDC to protect lives and property during the festive season and beyond. With less than 72 hours to the governorship election, stakeholders and political parties in Kogi State have signed a peace accord to ensure a violence-free and fair election. The peace accord was signed on Wednesday in Lokoja in a ceremony organized by the Kuka Center and funded by the European Union. In his remarks, the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Sokoto State, Martin Asankuka, who was represented by Atta Bakindo, said election is not a do-or-die affair, urging politicians to ensure they conduct themselves for a smooth electioneering process. Governor of Kogi State, Yara Adoza Bello, who was represented by the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Barrister Didat Ozigi, lauded the Kuka Center for their services to humanity. So this administration has an interest in securing all citizens of Kogi State, stressing that the platform will help assist the state in maintaining peace and fighting insecurity. Hundreds of Plateau youths, including women and children, are currently protesting in different locations in Jos, the state capital, over what they described as a conflicting tribunal and court of appeal judgments targeting at sacking state and national assembly members elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party in the state. No fewer than 4 National Assembly members elected on the platform of the PDP, including the Senate Minority Leader Simeon Wadikwan, had been sacked by the appeal court on the grounds that the PDP had no valid structure in the state. The protesters who rejected the court verdicts blocked the Jos Abuja highway on Wednesday, thereby causing heavy traffic and leaving travelers stranded. Many of the protesters also gathered at the popular Mararaba Jama roundabout, singing anti-judiciary songs and burning tires on the road. They accused the All Progressive Congress of using the appeal court to force unpopular candidates who were rejected at the poll by the people during the 2023 general election. Through the back door, some of the protesters held placards with different inscriptions, such as, "The ballot is supreme, do not kill our democracy, PDP is alive, return people's mandate, we want justice," amongst many others. From Niger State Council report that Niger State Governor Omar Mohamed Bago has reiterated that he is committed to planting 1 billion trees on 1 million hectares of land over the next 8 years. The governor reaffirmed this position at the ceremony to sign the Green Economy Initiative with the Niger State government and with the National Petroleum Company Limited. The initiative, which is meant to attract international investors to the state, is for the development of 4 unique projects, including greenfield hydroelectric power project, mega solar parks, institutions, and homes solar system for 250 households out of 800,000 households in Niger State. 500 million liters ethanol plant with associated cropping of maize, sugarcane, sweet sorghum on 100,000 hectares of land in Niger State to produce over 500,000 tons of crops to feed the ethanol plant, and plans to plant 135 million trees on 100,000 hectares of land as part of commitment to climate protection and carbon sequestration towards its 2030 net zero targets. Bago also disclosed that Niger State hopes to partner with other global oil and gas, shipping airlines, cement companies, and the United Nations and its agencies in achieving the 1 billion trees target. Law Enforcement Agency General Social Services training workshop organized by the Kano State Command. The governor urged police officers and other security agents in the state participating in the company building workshop to get acquainted with the nitty-gritty of the administration of justice system law. According to him, the second edition of the training workshop marked a significant step forward in enhancing the capacities and expertise of law enforcement agencies to carry out their duties effectively and following the laws governing criminal justice in the state. Jesus said at the event signified a significant milestone in the commitment of the state government towards the effective administration of justice. Yusuf maintained that ACJL remained a vital piece of legislation that sought to streamline and modernize the criminal justice system. The Federal Capital Territory operatives of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, FCT Command, have arrested 15 suspected vandals and scavengers in Abuja and its environs. Arresting the suspects at the FCT Command headquarters, Wuse, Abuja, the FCT Commandant Olushola Odumosu said the suspects were caught in different parts of the territory in the wee hours of the night. He said they have been targeting infrastructures in the state for vandalization and theft, adding that investigations showed they have been stealing and snatching bags and phones from innocent citizens in the state. Odumosu said that the apprehended suspects will be prosecuted according to their offenses and in accordance with the law to make them accountable for their actions and to serve as a deterrent to others. He was, however, unable to provide satisfactory responses, documents, or permits to ascertain his claim to undertake the job. His 2 other accomplices are at large. The efforts are ongoing to capture the fleeing suspects. News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be right back after the short break. Don't go away. Welcome back to the news on Atlantic Television Network. Now the rest of the stories. Civil society organization Elect Her makes case for women in politics and factors in Nigeria limiting the extent to women development. The organization in a press conference in Abuja on Tuesday on the forthcoming off-cycle elections, Ibijoke Faborode, founder and chief executive officer of the Elect Her, said there is for improved consideration in ensuring that women are pushed forward as candidates. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network, a socio-political analyst, Dr. Pa Baribene, said poor self-esteem is a major reason why female aspirants forsake their political career.
Election thing is not restricted to men. It's not a male thing. So the women can also contest. But
welcome back. Justice Olukayode Adeniyi of the Federal Capital Territory, High Court, has granted former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, bail. The judge ordered that Emefiele be released immediately to his lawyers, who were charged with the responsibility of producing him in court for his arraignment next week or at any other day. According to the judge, the ex-bank chief must also deposit his travel documents before the chief registrar of the court, pending his arraignment. The judge also pointed out that there must be an end to detention without trial. The court must also not overlook the fact that he has been in detention for 151 days, and the federal government and the Attorney General of the Federation must abide by the court order. The substantive motion on notice, as well as the preliminary objection, were adjourned to November 17, 2023 for hearing. Emefiele's travails started when President Bola Tinubu suspended him as the Apex bank chief on June 9, 2023, a day after the Department of the State Services confirmed that the embattled and suspended CBN chief was in his custody. Police Service Commission said it has concluded arrangements to deploy staff monitors for the November 11 governorship elections in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa states. Ike Chukwani, head press and public relations, in a statement said the staff monitors are to be deployed to all the senatorial districts in the 3 states and have been mandated to monitor strictly the conduct of the policemen on election duties in the 3 states. Reacting on Atlantic Television, a socio-political analyst, Eric Ibifa, said Nigerian police must ensure they exhibit a proper code of conduct during the election.
Part of the reasons we have cases of voter apathy in most of the elections in this country, aside from the obvious fact of the voter register being padded, the other reality is that quite often people don't feel safe enough to come out to vote. And part of the reason for that is that people don't have faith in the police and the other security agencies that are deployed on election duty to discharge duties. The other thing is that I think that there has to be some code of conduct, if it doesn't exist already, to guard the actions of these policemen on essential duty on election day. The police as an organization, as an institution, should take care of the welfare of its men in uniform who are deployed on election duty. Once you allow a situation where police officers get, fed, if you like, or they are refreshed, to use a more benign term, they are refreshed by partisans as election, because you have situations where under the guise of taking care of the welfare of party officials at the polling unit, there is in some cases heavy deployment, if you like, of food, and the police officers on duty against parties opposed to the parties that are responsible for their refreshment.
Moving on, he applauded the move, which he said is in the right direction if strategically followed, to the latter, urging the Nigerian government to take up plans where elections can be done at ease without any fear of insecurity in the country.
Of these issues, but I think it's a timely warning, but I think it's going to be an empty warning if it is not backed up by actions. And also, I think there should also be actions for even the announce a restriction of movement on elections day. People can go vote and then return to work. I mean, imagine shutting down the entire economy for one day, as we do during elections, and then there is restriction of movement, business concerns can open, and then, so I think we should begin to look towards that. While it is a healthy thing that the police is doing its responsibility, for me, I dream of a situation where we won't need heavy police involvement or heavy security involvement during elections. Would have imbibed some of the ethos of democracy, some of the ethics of democracy, would have become acculturated to democracy to the point where we can carry out these things without necessarily resorting to over-policing or over-securitizing the area.
And from the Green Chambers comes a report that the House of Representatives has kicked against proposed 2.7 trillion naira waivers and exemptions to be granted to various organizations in the 2024 fiscal year as proposed by the Budget Office. Chairman House Committee on Finance, Honorable James Abiodun Faleke, expressed the concern during the interactive session with officials of the ministry, departments and agencies on the legislative scrutiny of the 2024-2026 medium-term expenditure of a realistic medium and MTEF FSP before the presentation of the 2024 annual budget, while assuring that the committee will provide homegrown solutions to the country's financial problems. And Falaka expressed displeasure over the laxity of the MDAs on the 11 billion naira P&ID contract scam and 30 million naira being paid on monthly basis by the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC to Azura Power. Falaka also warned that the committee will not accept such laxity on the part of the MDAs in not neglecting our minds, where the whole country was almost held hostage to a fraudulent. House Committee on Health has promised to support the National Assembly with needed legislative assistance to improve the revenue generation of the hospital for the improvement of the sector. Chairman House Committee on Health, Honorable Amos Magaji, made the promise during an oversight visit to the National Hospital Abuja. The House Committee Chairman, who decried the low revenue generation of the hospital, also identified the low budgetary allocation in the health sector in the country, saying internally generated revenue of hospital could be channeled to meet some immediate and important needs of the hospital without waiting for federal government intervention. Honorable Magaji charged the hospital management to put in more efforts to ensure a proper monitoring.
Number of machines. No private owner will have a CT scan or MRI machine and then all the linear accelerator and then will not make so much. I understand that, based on what you explained, I understand that very well. Nevertheless, I think we need to look at it, and these hospitals that we have, they can run on their own, and they can even contribute to the, IGR. Sometimes it hurts. My deputy was showing me the personnel cost
treat you for free. When you go to trauma centers, every single day they bring loads of patients, accident victims. We have never for once sent anybody away. We have treated them. Ideally, it is said that you should treat a patient for trauma for 48 hours. But by the time you do that, during these 48 hours, the amount of what single individual would take will be millions of naira. And then by the time they are fully stable to go to the ward, they will tell you they are either unknown, some of them are dead, so even if they are known, they will not pay. So we waive millions of naira every single day. So those are the issues that we have.
Senate Committee on Navy has said it will investigate the circumstances and issues surrounding the controversial presidential yacht within the next 1 week. The committee, chaired by Senator Benga Daniel, according to a statement by his media officer, said the probe was in response to escalating controversy surrounding the procurement of a yacht. The primary objective of the probe, according to the statement, is to uncover the facts, dispel uncertainties, and provide the public with an accurate and comprehensive understanding of the situation. Unquote. Apart from the investigation, the committee also resolved to visit all naval facilities across the country with a view to prioritizing training and welfare of naval personnel and veterans, while emphasizing the need for improved funding for the Nigerian Navy to perform their critical role in the nation's economic and security sector. The committee further resolved to promote the modernization of Nigerian Navy's fleet, enhance its operational capabilities, and push for naval research and development agencies. In the meantime, Senate has asked the federal government to immortalize the late Ohinoyi of Ibiraland, Dr. Abdul Rahman Ado Ibrahim. Ibrahim, a former Vice Chancellor of the Vice President of the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, died on October 29 in an Abuja hospital, where he had been receiving treatment for age-related ailment and has since been buried. He was aged 95 years. During plenary on Wednesday, the upper chamber observed a minute silence in honor of the Ohinoyi of Ibiraland, demanding that the Federal College of Education, Okene, be named after him. This followed a motion by Senator Natasha Aboti Uduara, representing Kogi Central Senatorial District in the National Assembly. The Senate also launched an investigation into the alleged lingering cases of undisclosed admissions that has left the fate of about 290 qualified students hanging in the balance at the University of Nigeria Nsukka, Enugu State. Sponsoring the motion, Senator Nwanyibonyi Onyeka Peter from Ebonyi State cited the case of one Miss Chinrekwe, who was admitted to study medicine and surgery at the University of Nigeria Nsukka, but had the admission truncated on the order of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board. After an extensive debate on the worrisome practice, the upper chamber therefore resolved to investigate the allegation by referring the notion to the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, as well as Ethics, Privileges, and Public Petitions for their further legislative action. Both committees are expected to invite the officials of JAMB, UNN, and the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, in the course of the probe to explain the circumstances surrounding the undisclosed admission phenomenon and report back in 2 weeks. Nigerian Senate has resolved to probe alleged unwholesome practices by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board. The upper legislative chamber says the move is to curtail the practice of undisclosed admissions and other unwholesome practices by the board and the universities in Nigeria, particularly the University of Nigeria Nsukka. This is sequel to a motion during plenary on Wednesday by Senator Peter Nweboy. National Assembly correspondent Rotimi reports.
The Senate in the coming days will probe and alleged unwholesome practices by the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAMB). This followed a resolution after a debate on a motion moved by Senator Peter Onweboyin. The motion, as contained in the floor of the Senate, seeks to curtail the practice of undisclosed admission and other unwholesome practices by the board and the universities, particularly the University of Nigeria, Nsukka.
Senate further notes that Senate informed that the authorities of tertiary institutions in cohorts with some JAMB officials have reverted to the practice of provisional admissions into private professional courses like medicine and surgery, pharmacy, law, engineering, nursing sciences, etc., with a view to shortchanging some students already offered admission in exchange for gratification. Senate also informed of the travel of one Mr. Chinyere Ekwe and other 290 other students who were admitted to study medicine and surgery at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, but had their admission truncated on the order of JAMB for non-plausible reasons after they had completed admission processes and resumed lectures and also paid their school fees. Mrs. Ekwe in particular scored 291 in the 2009 UTME exams and 300 in the university post-UTME, which qualified her for the course.
After the debate, the leadership of the Senate declined adopting any of the prayers, but instead referred the matter to the Committees on Public Petition and Tertiary Institution for further legislative action.
Presented motion, and a motion that weighty allegations have been made. And I do not think, Mr. President, that this is the best way for us to review and look at this motion. So I would rather suggest that because we know JAMB, we know the universities, that the best thing will have been that this motion will be sent to either the Committee on Higher Education or the Committee on Public Petitions.
So I think the Latin phraseology applies here, which is odi autem patem. Let the other side be heard. If it is the view of the Senate that we refer the entirety of this petition or this motion, particularly the contents of the prayers, to the two committees, one committee on tertiary education and the second one committee on public petition, jointly to do a thorough investigation, revert to this Senate in 2 weeks so that we can do a holistic job and even invite the Minister of Education to attend to find out whether this kind of practice, if it is occurring, is also occurring in other tertiary institutions. So let us do a holistic job. If it is the view of the Senate that we refer this entirety to the Committee on Tertiary Education and Public Petitions, can we say aye? Aye. Those again say nay. The ayes have it.
Committees of tertiary institution and public petition are expected to invite JAMB, the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and the Minister of Education in the course of their investigation to explain the circumstances surrounding the allegation of admission leveled against them. From the National Assembly, Abuja, Rotimi Adewoye, ATN News.
In a way of improving agricultural produce and securing food,
the Senate in the coming days will probe an alleged.
In a way of improving agricultural produce and security and securing food in Nigeria, the Federal Government of Nigeria and International Fund for Agriculture Development trained 80 Nigerians on information and communication technology for the monitoring evaluation. The training provides a deep understanding of the value of ICT in agriculture and building blocks of ICT to enable M&E. The Director of Planning and Policy Coordinator, Federal Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Tanumu Ibrahim, said the training was aimed at improving productivity and easing the challenges in the agricultural sector in Nigeria. An interview with the country director, International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFD, Mrs. Dede Ikuo, said using digital solutions for monitoring evaluation of agricultural products will provide transparency, effectiveness, and efficiency. While some Nigerians who participated in the training have this to say. Joseph Moses reports.
In a way of improving agricultural produce and securing food in Nigeria, the federal government of Nigeria and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, trained 80 Nigerians in information and communication technology for the monitoring evaluation. The training provides a deep understanding of the value of ICT in agriculture and building blocks of ICT to enable M&E. The Director, Planning and Policy Coordinator, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Tanimu Ibrahim, said the training was aimed at improving productivity and easing the challenges in the agricultural sector in Nigeria.
The workshop is aimed at improving productivity in the agricultural sector. Without this kind of training, we cannot gain what we want to have. Everybody knows the challenge before us as a sector, and I'm sure the thinking of IFAD to bring out this kind of workshop for participants is apt, and it's completely in alliance with the agenda of Mr. President and the direction of the ministry to move this sector forward. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Management and staff of the ministry, I want to congratulate all of you for this achievement. I will also congratulate IFAD for this support.
In an interview with the Country Director, International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, Mrs. Dede Ekoi, said using digital solutions for monitoring evaluation of agricultural projects will provide transparency, effectiveness, and efficiency.
The monitoring and evaluation training, we have just completed the training, is a very important training in the sense that using digital solution for monitoring and evaluation of our agricultural projects will allow us to have a better transparency, traceability, effectiveness and efficiency of our results. We will know where are we getting the results that we need to get, and what, if we are not getting it, what action can we take? The importance of the digital solution is that it's not only about a project, it's about also involving beneficiaries, government in the evaluation of the project. Digital solutions facilitate that participatory approach, and that's why we are very thrilled that this workshop has been successfully completed. So it is a high quality training that has been provided, and we are pleased that the government has championed this process from the beginning to end, and we need now to put all these skills into practice so that the smallholder farmer can be better empowered to achieve greater productivity.
While some Nigerians who participated in the training have this to say.
A lot of things we do are not on real time, so this gives an opportunity to mainstream ICT for D into what we are doing. So it's a laudable thought, and it's something that we all want happen as a yesterday. Because of course, from the training and the interaction we had, there are platforms for every person, even the rural farmer in the remotest area of the city will always have that opportunity to move on to the platform. So it gives opportunity for everybody.
Then the type of tools or solutions that will be user friendly, that will be scalable, that will be sustainable, and that will really deliver desired results. And we have also learned about mainstreaming gender into the MIE system, so that we need to be, any solution that we are adopting in the MIE system have to be gender sensitive, and it has to be the one that both gender will be able to adopt. And all the solutions we are adopting must be user-friendly. In fact, that is the basic principle that must be followed.
Joseph Moses, ATN News, Abuja.
Now business news. Central Bank of Nigeria has instructed all its branches nationwide to continue issuing various denominations of both old and redesigned banknotes in ample quantities to deposits money banks. The Apex Bank disclosed this in a statement signed by its Director Corporate Communications, Issa Abdulmumini, and posted on its X handle on Wednesday. This comes in response to reports of cash shortages in major cities despite earlier assurances from the CBN about sufficient cash availability nationwide. Added that no one should refuse to accept the Naira as a means of payment. Central Bank advised the public to accept all CBN issued banknotes currently in circulation and guard against panic. Despite being dethroned by Irish chef Alan Fisher for longest cooking marathon, she remains a Guinness World Record holder in spirit and in history. But she said this while responding to fans who questioned why in the latest International Cricket Council T20 rankings from 42nd to 38 in the world, and also became